Who's coming out on top at the moment?
Yeah, let's get straight into it. Tip Top Fate at the top of the table. And my word, are they absolutely dominating. 14 chicken dinners in there. But look at this. The pros are coming. Godsend coming in from the CIS region, suddenly picking up 10 chicken dinners. That's a big jump from what we saw. I think they had 3 last time we looked at them just a week ago. So it's been a busy old week for them. And Kurash Esports, also the Pakistani professional team as well, coming in there, starting to put the pressure on. Good to see a lot of the names that we've covered throughout the week. So Alien Side, Hydra, La Familia, etc. GMT also on the rise as well. Which, of course, does mean that some will fall, of course. Some of the teams that we've covered throughout, for example, if I was to look at, I'm trying to think of where have they gone? How far have they fallen? 4 Angry Birds, they're down to 33rd. They were in the top 16 last week. So as some teams rise, obviously somebody has to fall, and they are some of them that have fell.
Yeah, OP Devils are trying to claw their way back into that top 10 arena as well. And just in case you're wondering about any of the particular facts about the PUBG Mobile week, Quresh Esports, or Quresh Esports, I think that's how we say it. They've got 363 kills in total. And if we actually look at this from a broader perspective, a lot of these teams have played roughly 45 matches. That's kind of the max that you could have played up to this point. Tip Top Fate have almost won a third of the matches that they have entered into, being 14 chicken dinners, like you've already said, D-Man, which is astonishing. Winning a third of the battle royales that you jump into is like, that just shows sheer dominance, right?
Yeah, and especially when you think of sometimes they'll be playing against one of those top 10 teams as well. So it's not like they're just like...
Fresh Esports diving in, the Pakistani professional team, like you've already mentioned, D-Man as well. And we're coming in at the very beginning of this matchup, okay? 40 still alive, 10 teams in. But wait and see how quickly this team racks up kills.
Yeah, and it's a very, as you say, it's a very early kill count for them. And it's as you can see, they're pretty well surrounded. They got themselves in a decent split. It's a 2-2 split, 2 hills covering either side. So they're ready to get the crossfire in there if they need it. And now they're going to double push around the wall. So easy to work around the rock there. Quick knock came in, but obviously when the idea is you're backing up your teammate, you get in there and you can get the revive in as quick as possible. Now, obviously the player from Godlike from ahead, you can see, has got the support arriving just a little too late, and immediately it takes damage. That's the power of the 2-2 split coming in. He's getting attacked from the other side, so now he's worried about which side am I going to get hit from, and it is going to be the Tommy gun coming out from Manny.
Yeah, Manny absolutely decimating him, and that's just it. Like you said, the 2-2 split just allows that a little bit of extra coverage, but don't split too far from your teammates, because you just never know. You might not be able to get that pick early enough, and he might have got pinched around that left-hand side. But Manny, looking strong, just trying to still loot up. We're so early in the game. There's only one team that's gone out so far, and all 4 kills have been claimed by Quresh Esports. So it's just absolute decimation from him at the moment. And we're going to have a few skips during this just to kind of push on through this map until the final situation, let's call it. But yeah, Manny's still standing strong. We're sticking around with him. 2 kills at the moment. And, the loot is going to come in time. They don't need they can grab and push. Like Harry would say, Lethal has said, as we've covered PUBG prior as well, that a lot of these teams just manage to get any gun because they have the confidence in their own capability and the confidence in their synergy as teammates to just outplay people and then just nick the loot that they've gone out and claimed for themselves.
Exactly. If you're in a fighting situation, you can see they're very much in the exact same position. So they've already wiped out that Godlike team. You can see 4 kills counted, well, 5th now because they've just killed one of the members of this Delete team that's now having the gall to challenge their exact placement once again. And for Manny, he kind of has a very good idea. You can see he keeps looking over the left. Obviously, we use the third person, gets a good old glimpse there. Didn't want to push too far left because he will silhouette himself to anybody else that may be over there. And obviously, he's no clue. We can see on the map, of course, there's nobody there, but he doesn't know that. Perfectly cooked grenade. I think the only thing could have been better there is if it had banked it off the tree from behind, which would have been absolute pinpoint. But it's done the job. It's done the damage. There's his team getting the support. And another kill comes in. So while his 2 teammates down low, down the hill, well, now, of course, the height advantage is gone. They're just tossing nades into the exact position where the teammate died, but the flank is trying to come through, but it's 2v4 now.
6 out of the first 10 kills on the map is pretty impressive, nevertheless. I mean, even though they may not be going up against some of the best players, like you've said, they'd still go up against some of the players some of the teams that are competing within the PUBG like mobile in the ESL Mobile Open. But This is just outrageous. 8 kills out of the first 12. I mean,
and that's two full team wipes they've done there. It's not like they've just been, picking up rotational kills or transitional kills, which sometimes happens. That was 2 full team wipes. Now, of course, we progress to end game. We're in boot camp. We're in. It's anyone that's had a finish in boot camp, anyone that drops in boot camp, you know how crazy it can be. But to have 4 alive coming into boot camp now, you can see there's still 13 alive out there, 5 teams. It can get messy. There's people everywhere, and you can see the circle has gone right on top of them.
Only one of them down, which is Manny, who we were looking at earlier, but a 12 alive, like you've already mentioned, and 11 kills already. A great opportunity to put a really big chicken dinner on the board and really push their way up that leaderboard. Currently sitting in 3rd position. This team are just racking up kills, though. You should see that kill count. The differentiation between them and 2nd place for kills out of all of our teams currently is something like 30 kills, 40 kills. Like, it's insane, the amount, they're just a hyper-aggressive, really confident team, which is exactly what we look out for in these kinds of recap shows, because they're bringing in all the best clips, D-Man.
And you can see the 2 teammates around them. So that was kills that was very near him. He's just sitting there hiding in the smoke. Somebody with the M249 there. So that's very dangerous in the close quarters like this. So they're going to be very happy they got themselves a drop. But of course, you can see Dubai here tucked in, just the 2 kills for him, trying to get across the rest of his team. He's kind of in the blue being pushed right now. So he's going to use this wall. You can see using that 3rd-party mechanic. No first-person shooter here like you would go on the PC side. On the mobile side, your 3rd person is still very much available, which is why he's using it to his full advantage while his 2 teammates hold down the fort at the moment. Literally, that's what they're making it, a fort. And now we go into phase 9. Here we go. So it's going to be centering up. They know the dot. It's pretty much on them, and they are going to be the kings here. You can see the blue around the side. They know exactly where everyone's coming from. Just a couple alive.
They got to utilize every element of these buildings to their advantage. All of the rotations, the wraps, the pinches, everything that they can possibly do to try and maximize the kills. Here we go. Quick kill. Thank you very much on the back end. That eliminates that team.
Quick double.
You've got 3 teams left, and he's kind of separated from his teammates. He needs to kind of clump together with them a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
That's what he's done. He's just cleared their back, so he knows only people that are coming are now in front of them. They're well aware of the team over there, and they're actually fighting. Look at that. 3 teams alive. The other 2 teams are fighting. This is perfect for them. That's a 2v3 over there, and they've still got 3 alive. And look at the flank coming out from Dubai now. He knows exactly where they are, coming out to try and flush out those kills. Goes for the swing once again, gets caught out, knocked down, and flushed out. But his teammate, meanwhile, they've pushed into the other side. So they're taking the team down in the ditch out, and now they're pushing. They know exactly where they are. They know they're going to be around the side there. They just need to hold count of the blue, pushes straight around the side, comes in. There's a beautiful flank, and what a finish. Very well executed. For a game to finish in boot camp can be so risky. Close quarter combat. They knew exactly what they were doing there. And as you can see, a massive kill count. 16 kills for Keylash, the number 3 team currently in the ladder, proving exactly why they're up there.
16 kill chicken dinner. Racking up those kills early in the game really helped them out. They didn't need to get hyper aggressive towards the end, but this is Koresh Esports. They absolutely maintained the aggression throughout, even in that area at the end, which you just said is just absolutely horrible to navigate if you're not, uber confident. And they navigated it extremely well. Our next clip for all of you at home, Erangel, tip-top fate, the top of the table at the moment with 14 chicken dinners. And you're about to see why, because this team is so well put together and so, I don't even know how to explain it. I can't even find the words. I should be able to. It's my job, D-Man. But, finding the words to describe the synergy between this team is just unbelievable.
Well, we just saw Kuriash, of course. They got the highest kill count at the moment, 363, but just behind them on 310, actually in 3rd place, I should say, Godsent have 315, is obviously Tip-Top Fate, who, as you said, 14 chicken dinners, incredible so far. And look at this. They've already got 13 kills on the board. There's still 12 alive. They can top that off, no problem, with 5 teams out there. They have prime position here on the hilltop. They have the shacks on the hillside. This is actual perfect for them. Everybody else has to come to them.
We talk about aggression a little bit as well, and actually you'll notice that a lot of the Tip-Top Fate guys, they just hop into cars, try and flush people out. They get in the vehicles, they try and flush them out, use it for the rotations. That's just a sign of you know, such incredible levels of confidence in your teammates as well that you can drive off, go and scout out people. I mean, we're even going to witness a fantastic ending to this clip. I'm not going to give anything away, but it is absolutely brilliant. And, you know, I've said it twice already, but just oozing with confidence, this team. And I love to watch it.
Absolutely, using that smoke to perfect advantage, and this is perfect again. The two teams down low, they're fighting each other. They've tried to flank around, sitting in the smoke there, just going to go for a cheeky underhand, roll that grenade down onto them, and that is absolutely nailed on as well. Look at that. That one almost finished him off there. The second one pretty much does. Not a great deal left of him. Meanwhile, his teammates, they're taking out the vehicles down low as well. That grenade did indeed secure the kill, and they can see the team trying to make the push out of the blue. Nothing you can do running across. It's a turkey shoot down low.
God, quite an open circle to finish things off as well. And just, again, standing out in the open, in the middle, just popping off shots and just landing everything. That's just absolutely incredible. The difference in skill set is just so noticeable from this particular team. You can see why they're at the top of the table right now.
Look at this, though. Just look how aggressive they're being. They are going literally counterclockwise around the circle, flush him out. You got one guy out there somewhere. There's two players alive, and they're both single teammates, single teams.
And they're both terrified.
Looking for. Yeah, they're just hiding, which is why they're driving around. They're trying to draw the fire, draw the attention, say, hey, shoot at me, shoot at me. Then ignoring the crate that's over there. That's probably already been looted. Fancy car, by the way. That's something the PUBG Mobile does get is much better cars than the PC equivalent, by the way. Far better. There's the standard Dacia. There we go. But look at now they're going just simply clockwise around. They know where he is. They ram into the circle. Not a lot you can do about that, son. Just get chased down. And now, of course, it leaves the one man alive. He is simply a single snake, which is why you see what they're doing is driving over the bushes. Yeah. They're driving over each bush.
Bombing it around the map to try and find that little snake in the grass. So what do? Get someone in your car. Why not do a drive-by? Let's go. Fate Zayi is about to attempt a drive-by on Vance. Here we go. Thanks very much. And manages to claim that final goal. I love that ending. The confidence. I'll just stay in the car. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to hop out. We're good. A 19-kill chicken dinner with a drive-by just to end it with a little flurry. But look at that. The team that came in second, only 3 kills. So, I mean, it just goes to show you need to accumulate as many points as you can. And how are you going to do that? By being aggressive. You've got to get those kills in the bag because chicken dinners won't do it alone.
I mean, the damage was done, obviously, to get there. 13 kills coming into the final circle with 5 teams alive, but having all 4 team members up is always crucial. And clearly, they fought for the positions because as we joined the clip, you could see there was boxes around there. So they'd obviously come in, taken that compound for themselves from another team, which is where all those kills kept coming from.
We love to see it. We love to see these high kill games. And we're going to end on another jump into Erangel. And we're going to be joining La Familia, who are currently sitting in 6th position with 615 points and 268 kills. And themselves, they have 9 chicken dinners. It's just that little bit of inconsistency that's let them slip out of the top 5. But nice shots to kick things off from Evil Boy, D-Man.
Yeah, they're the second lowest kill count in the top 10. By some margin, actually. Like I say, only 260. I say only 268 kills. But obviously, when you're looking at, say, Kirash Esports, they're almost 100 kills behind. So it's quite a difference. But nonetheless, as you can see, it's only a 3-kill game so far for them. So they've got a bit of work to do. 13 alive out there, 5 teams, and it's one of those horrible finishes. The fields, the hillsides, the bushes, and he knows exactly where they are. You can see Evil Boy there was just lining up his sights. They're in the bushes somewhere, but we just don't know where. The problem is they've got this team up on the right-hand side. That is a nice start there. They land the nade, they land the knock, they get the kill, and now with the blue pushing them, they have to move.
It's great, such a great example right here on your screens of map awareness and something that you just really need to understand to kind of push your level and your ability within Battle Royale games. Always knowing where everyone is on the map or constantly giving your fellow teammates call outs is what you have to do because you have to just maximize your capability and you got your teammates, utilize them. There's a guy over there in the blue, in the bush over there. Like it sounds like common sense, but a lot of people forget it because they get stuck in their own thing of what they're doing. Utilize your teammates, D-Man.
Absolutely. One car moves and you can see the damage done to him there as they're spotting him out. Smoke's going down. He's going to check out the crate and see if he can pull some sort of ammo or vest from it. Looks like he's going to get it. Oh, yeah. First aid kit coming straight in there. A full med kit. Love to see it. So gets himself a tier 3 vest as well. Fully loaded tier 3 helmet, tier 3 vest. Perfect position now. He's basically the Terminator coming into the final circle.
That's OP Devils trying to push down towards them, currently in 11th place, but it looks like La Familia are going to get the best of them. And they get dropped actually by Takayo from Team Art and from Team AR, sorry. And don't manage to secure that one. Still one up from OP Devils. Don't know if he's going to survive this, but look at this extremely open circle once again. Definitely going to have to utilize the amount, all of the smoke grenades that you can have, because look how open this is, D-Man.
Yeah, just 8 alive as well out there. Yeah, as I say, these are the circles that everybody hates to see. Everybody hates to see that as well. Bit of glitching, but that's just perfectly from the observer point of view. Don't worry, that's not what the player saw. Yeah, so OP Devils over on the right-hand side, Art over on the left there. They are the only teams alive now with just 3 out there, just a 1 and 2. As they say that, the nade lands, gets the knock through there. Are they going to be able to finish it off? That knock immediately signifies the push. There's the man on the right. They knew exactly where he was, takes him down, and here is the push. An absolute perfect pincer move. All 4 of them moving in situ, straight in. Absolute clinical finish in there. And another fantastic finish. A 10-kill game in the end for La Familia, as I say, who are sitting currently 6th in the table.
Yeah, OP were not far behind as well. 8 kills and sat themselves into 3rd position on that particular chicken dinner as well. But that's the thing that we're talking about quite a lot, isn't it? Synergy between teammates and aggression, but when to be aggressive. You've got to pick your moments, and they pick the right moment at the very end. Right now, we're clear. Let's go. If they just got hyper-aggressive off the rip, they'd have probably got shot on the side by OP Devils and maybe wouldn't have clutched up that chicken dinner, but there you go. They're obviously cleverer than I am, because that's probably what I'd have done. Less teams, I feel like they're straight pushing their enemies. So unless you're Tip Top Fate or Crash, I don't know, maybe be a little bit more, a little bit more careful about your pushes. But you and your squad can still drop into Erangel, Miramar, or Sandhawk. Just put ! sign up in the chat, follow all the instructions, and it's as simple as that. We're going to take a really quick break, but once we're back, we're going to be diving in to Clash Royale. See you in a bit.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
single elimination bracket goodness. It is, of course, Clash Royale. The new bracket style, it's what we love. It's clean, it's decisive, and it takes no prisoners, D-Man. What do you think of it?
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's far cleaner than a bracket, than a ladder system. Ladder systems can get stale. Often you'll see the people at the top maybe just maintaining their wins to keep themselves up there, whereas brackets, you got to do it every week. And that's what we love to see, and that's where new players will come through.
Exactly, which is something that we might get a glimpse of today. There's no leaderboard. You qualify for the finals by winning a bracket. It's as simple as that. This week, it was a doozy, and we don't have the display of previous rounds for you. However, we can tell you the end of bracket regulars that we've had were more or less squashed fairly early on. D-Man, come on, take us through this bracket.
Yeah, it's great to see. I mean, there's really not too many teams. Matteo, if you can see in the knockout stages, went down in the quarterfinals. He has been a finalist before, but outside of that, honestly, you know, a lot of the names that we've seen throughout, if you think of, let me try and drag up some names.
Novel, Shadow, Sosa, Lucas
Shadow,
GSM,
yeah, absolutely.
All of them. They all got knocked out early days this week.
Yeah, and that's what I like, right? That's why you want the brackets. Maybe a few players out there that hadn't taken part, you know, maybe signed up. Just saying, you know, exclamation mark sign up, have maybe joined the tournament and suddenly come through and delivered. That's what I love to see.
Yeah, I mean, Novel and Sosa have already made it through, so I don't know if they're just kind of entering, you know, just to keep their skill set up and, you know, keep playing against...
Where's Chief Keef?
Where's Chief Keef? Exactly. Didn't even see Chief Keef. You know, it might have been around 128. I can't believe it. It's absolutely unbelievable. But like you've already mentioned, Matthew is the only player that made it into the quarterfinals. And he's the only person that's really made it in that we've seen out of these people. Like, these are all new faces to us. They might be quite big in the Clash Royale community. However, we haven't seen them as much this season. And that's what we're going by. So we're going to dive into our first map. And that is Dima versus Minikuma. And Dima, as you've already seen from the bracket, ends up doing pretty well. But, you know, this isn't a whitewash. Let's have a look and see how close it gets, D-Man.
Yeah, so fairly standard decks, I would say. I don't think there's anything too out there within decks that we haven't seen before. The classic miner, of course, starting things off, actually getting relatively good value to start with, to be fair, overall. You know, getting himself, 300 damage, or 250, I should say, damage. Classic cannon mortar, so pretty standard starts for them. As you'd expect, it's always going to be a bit of a slow start.
It's always a little bit slow burn, you're right. But yeah, isn't it weird how sometimes we just don't really comprehend or don't really think about, if someone sends out a miner at the very beginning, your first thought is, okay, let's defend against the miner, but actually they just let it chip away. I don't know if it's just not worth it to them, you know. Oh, it's fine, you know, the archer on top of the tower will take care of it in a couple of hits, but you're still taking damage. Like you said, 250, that's nothing to be sniffed at. And here comes the musketeer.
Yeah, and Musketeer's coming down, but of course with the cannon having its wheels knocked off, it will slowly go down, but it's effectively an extra defense there, so when the miner comes in, he doesn't really get as much as he'd like. Valkyrie taking down the mortar with ease, will possibly get a spin-off, does just about get the spin-off, didn't complete the animation, but the damage was done.
Defense against the Spear Goblins. Spear Goblins actually do a fair amount of damage, so you do have to watch out for that. But look at this, is what Minikuma is basically going to try and do throughout this war, okay? Plonk the mortar down just before the bridge, and then get an attacking troop in front of the mortar to essentially draw fire away from the mortar, and then the mortar can just absolutely rain hellfire down on the towers, unless it gets distracted like it is doing right now and it's trying to take out the prince. But it is a very strong tactic that we saw last week being utilized quite a lot by some of our top players.
Yeah, and for Dimas, you can see what his aim is there. He obviously got the prince in just in time. Not the prince, the knight, isn't it? Just in time, and basically throws the miner in behind it once again. Keeping with it the same sort of thing, you know, keeping going. The graveyard doing a little bit of work there, but the Valkyrie will get this. He won't get the damage down on the turret at the moment. It is pretty tight. We're obviously into times to elixir as well, so things should start heating up.
Yeah, Dima's just slowly chipping away damage on that left side tower, not really looking too aggressive. They're not looking to take down a tower immediately and throw the kitchen sink at it. They're both kind of getting the feel for each other and kind of seeing how they defend, how they attack, Hunter and the Valkyrie both pushing up right now. This could be a dangerous combination if he doesn't stop it in its tracks.
Yeah, and also with the graveyard going as well, that's obviously distracting as much as they can. So that was getting the damage down as the damage was coming in, but the Hunter will get dealt with, and again, not a great deal from it. So in terms of tower damage from the Crowns, there's really not a lot happen out there, and now of course we hit overtime, so things, they've got to get quicker now, surely.
Yeah, they got to speed things up. Here we go. It's time to double that elixir. Let's go. We're in overtime. 2 minutes of absolute carnage. That's what we want to see. This is essentially what a lot of our players wait for. They have a specific tactic laid out for when they get that ×2 elixir and when they get into overtime. And they just kind of feel it out and wait until that point, and then they can switch up their strategy and catch their opponent off guard.
Well, the mortar, it's really the first time we saw Dimas making use of that mortar just a moment ago. He's waited till overtime effectively to put it down, because it can be something, you know, you miss out on the defensive. And again, sticking with the miner, keeping that little damage down, and look at the value he gets this time from that miner. That is stunning. Oof. 400 plus hit points by that miner. Love it.
Catching Minikuma off guard. We got the cannon cart and the mortar combination just constantly being put in there, along with the Valkyrie to make sure that she gets rid of... Oh, what's her name? The Musketeer. Whoa, I just completely lost her name for a second there. Okay, Snowball coming in to take out the Goblins. We've still got the cannon cart and the mortar smashing away. And it's a great combo, but, you know, it's on both sides. So a little bit tedious in some ways, but it's this Hunter versus Musketeer situation that we're trying to see. We're trying to feel it out, really, D-Man.
I think the biggest problem here, the Minikuma, is it's so predictable what he's doing. He's constantly trying to attack this left side now. He's kind of given up on the right. Now he's going to send them over there. But look, it's 900 versus 1200. There's the graveyard. The snowballs are even coming up. Dimas is realizing this is a potential situation. Both of them realizing we're probably not going to get a tower down. We need to get as much damage done as possible as they try and rack it up in ×3 elixir.
Yeah, he's dropped down the Spear Goblins to take care of the Miner as quickly as possible. He's tried to anticipate that, which he did nicely. He got the Poison spell on as well, going down to 500 damage. So now it's kind of weirdly about the spell cycling. Look, he's throwing the absolute kitchen sink on that left side now. He's absolutely launched that Grave spell, the Snowball, the Fireball, the Poison, everything. And it looks like it's just going to be Dima who comes out ahead of the tiebreaker. So less so of... you know, an overwhelming win, a little bit more on the tedious side because their decks were so similar. But hey ho, Dima comes out with the win. A win is a win, D-Man.
Yeah, a win is a win. And as you can see, like, I think they got to a point where both realized it. So he started snowballing like crazy. The Poison, as you say, is like, I need to get some damage done here. And actually, if it had gone on for a split second longer, that miner probably would have finished it off, so he would have got the crown anyway. But yeah, definitely a slow game to start things off at Clash Royale.
We might have some slow games. We might progressively get more aggressive as we go through, because we're actually going to be following Dima's path throughout this week of brackets. So their second matchup is Dima once again versus Mini Ligon. And this is another chipping away of the damage kind of map. However, a little bit of twists and turns thrown in there. As you can see, coming from Dima, we've got that mortar and cannon cart combo once again. This time with the log, a Spear Goblins once again, and the Fireball. But the Royal Hogs is his switcheroo that he's going to rely on throughout this attack.
Yeah, so Ligon from Spain, Dima, of course, from Kazakhstan, he is certainly done very well so far. But this is definitely a more aggressive game, from what I remember, as we see. And obviously the deck's been different. Throwing down that P.E.K.K.A early, that is a big elixir to throw out so early on before any ×2 kicks in. He can do a lot of damage, and it's something Dima has to deal with.
Yeah, as you can see, Mini Ligon has actually got a really hyper-aggressive deck. Everything is basically down for attack. You've got the Electric Wizard, you've got the Robber, you've got the Dark Knight, you've also got the Barbarian Barrel, you've got the Fireball, and the P.E.K.K.A. There's not a huge amount of defensive structures in there, or, you know, defenses, so he's just looking to throw the kitchen sink at Dima, really. And this is very apparent throughout the map. You'll see Dima kind of just sits back on defense and just slowly chips away the damage. But, well, only time will tell. The Royal Hog split, so he's definitely going to get at least some damage off on both towers.
Yeah, and I love the Electro Wizard obviously getting the double defensive uses out of it. But look at that. He's already got 500 damage done to both sides of the towers. And now it gives him an option. Dima can go wherever he chooses at the moment. And defensively, he is working well. Ligon really needs to try and step something up here.
I think the one thing that Dima has to keep in the back of his mind is that whenever Mini Ligon drops the P.E.K.K.A, that is when he has to focus his defenses, because the P.E.K.K.A is so tanky and it's just so great at just absolutely all P.E.K.K.A needs is one swipe, and the damage dealt is catastrophic. So it really needs to just keep an eye out there. That's why Dima's not flushing out too much of his elixir to ensure that he can defend against P.E.K.K.A. Here comes the P.E.K.K.A on the left-hand side. He's dished out the Royal Hogs, which is going to get some damage off, down into the 1900 mark now. But look at the amount of damage the P.E.K.K.A dishes out. One smash. There you go. Okay, it's just 2 hits for that cannon cart. Half damage done on the P.E.K.K.A. He just needs to slow it down as much as possible so that it doesn't get a hit off on that left side tower.
Yeah, it will hit like a truck if it hits. The Ram Rider's also coming in there to try and help out. But again, defended really well. And while he keeps doing it, he keeps keeping a little bit of damage. Just something for him, Ligon, to think about in terms of that left side. But Ligon is starting to get very one-dimensional here, continuing to attack that left side. The Royal Hogs once again come through. They're going to get another 2 or 3 hits off, and that's really what's clocking it up.
It is, yes. And you'll actually notice as this map progresses that Mini Ligon kind of starts to learn and utilize his defenses against that Royal Hog push that's going to be going on that right side tower. He starts to kind of preempt it and actually does really well at defending against it. But, you know, Dima, he's just not quite enough. He just slowly chips it away and he's defending. Like we've just said, Mini Ligon is defending better. Dima becomes even better at defending against the P.E.K.K.A. And, you know, now the Mother Witch on this left-hand side as well.
Yeah, so Mother Witch goes down. There's the Royal Hogs once again coming through. There's the Fireball once again. Same old difference. But again, they get another, 2, 3 hits through. Takes it down to 1,500, while also 1,200 on the left was. He's sitting at 2K at the moment. We're in overtime. Things are not looking good for Ligon here. And he needs to get a good attack. He keeps trying with his P.E.K.K.A. And let's not forget, obviously, he's going to get more elixir, so this P.E.K.K.A is going to come out. He may even get 2 of them out there at once. But again, he's just not getting it through right now.
Yeah, the Hogs again. So now he's gone for the Barbarian Barrel mixed in with the Fireball to ensure that those Royal Hogs go down and they don't get any more damage. But is it too little too late? He's got 1,500 on the right-hand side and 1,285 on the left-hand side tower. And Dima is still sitting pretty with over 2K left on both towers. So Ligon's going to need to come up with some sort of tactic that's going to take Dima, you know, catch him off guard, because yeah, he's in struggle city right now, D-Man.
Yeah, it's a one-trick pony run, right? He keeps trying to get that P.E.K.K.A in there, whereas Dimas has all the defense for it, and now the Hogs come through once again, gets another hit through there. You can see in terms of defensively, the cannon also in there. Dimas not really threatened. You know, he's barely been touched on the right, barely been touched on the left. Still over 2,000 hit points with 30 seconds left. And now he switches it up. He throws the Hogs out on the left there, and that's suddenly caught him off guard because he's gone for the P.E.K.K.A on the right. And that's more damage coming through. He's down to 1,000 on the left. He's starting to get disastrous.
I think that what we tend to see is we then see the tanking troops in those kinds of decks do really well. And actually, Dima is proving to us right now that you don't have to have tanky troops on your side to do extremely well or to even deal with opposing tanking troops. Royal Hogs again on that left-hand side just get taken out in the nick of time by the robber. Right-hand side cannon cart is stopping the E-Wiz from getting anywhere near it, and it just looks like time is ticking down, and Dima manages to close it out in the tiebreaker.
And the Fireball hit just behind the Hogs, which pushed the Hogs into the tower as well. They all got that extra hit off. It all got that extra little bit of damage onto the tower. But honestly, you know, 700,000, 1,500, it didn't really matter because Dima's towers had barely been touched.
Well, that's the thing. Dima just seems like he's got that defense, consistently down. Like, he is consistent throughout his defenses, and his attacks are okay. They chip away damage, and he gets the win. He's just playing through to make sure that he gets the win. That's his style right now. However, we're about to jump in to the third and final map, which is the final, and it's against Paradox. And you are going to see a very different Dima because these two guys come out swinging. It is time for Dima versus Paradox. Here we go. It's the final, D-Man.
Yeah, and a very different deck from both of them this time around. You can see there's the... I'm going to scratch my eye. Apologies. Nearly lost it. And you can see they're both sitting there waiting. This is typical competitive matches, right? Who will blink first? The Dart Goblin coming in there as well, working out wonders. That can do so much damage early on. If it's not careful, you got to be careful. It's basically akin to, I guess you could say the Musketeer, but a rapid firing. So it fires much quicker, and you can see it's already getting some damage down. But look at this big Lava Hound coming in with the flying machine back up. The Prince actually got to charge off. Look at the value of the damage done, down to 500 already. We're not even at the 2-minute mark, but where's the defenses now?
I think that's it. Dima, I don't think, expected that, that it wouldn't be defended against. The Knight got so much off. And then also you got the Bats coming in as well and chipping away damage. And the Miner was allowed to take off 500 damage along with the Spear Goblins. So, yeah, okay, this right side tower for Dima is under some serious threat, and that's going to go down. Because the Lava Hound push with the Skelly Dragons was really overwhelming. But Dima now, potentially being on the back foot, actually is going to pop off. And it's like, right, Dima's got nothing to lose, right? Dima now has to come in and take one of those towers down. He's got no option, but he's already got so much damage down. He has the potential to take them both down at the same time, D-Man.
It's always an interesting choice to use the Miner as effectively a defensive unit there, because he put it down onto the mortar. The Flying Machine once again coming in. It's going to get decent value for that, because Dimas is just building up and saying, okay, right, I need to get something going here. We know that right side is pretty low, and that's going to be a Miner that's going to keep on chipping away. It's a tanky unit, and you can see at the moment Paradox is like, okay, what are you going to do to defend? He builds himself up to 10 because he wanted the Lava Hound down again. He's trying to do the same attack that worked successful on the right, this time on the left, but he's discounted the fact he's lost his tower.
Yeah, and a 172 on the right side tower as well. So all it's going to take is a tiny bit of damage. So he needs to take care of this Lava Hound on the left, along with the Mega Minion, and he's probably going to drop the Skelly Dragons again. He just thinks that Paradox seems to think that this attack is foolproof, but actually Dima is good at adapting on the fly. He's got the Spear Goblins down, and he's got the Knight to distract the Mega Minion as well. And now he's got the Spear Goblin on the right, which is going to take out that tower. Thanks very much. As long as he can defend, which he does with the Fireball, 2 towers down, and all he's got left now is the King turret. So it's time to go all-out offensive from Dima and just make sure he doesn't lose that second tower.
Yeah, and that Dark Goblin has just done work, like you say. He took the tower down. It's great defensively. And I think from Paradox's point of view, as you said, he just felt that it was a foolproof attack that was going to work. But Dima absolutely read it like a book. Knew that he had an easy kill on the tower on the right there and takes it 2-1 from going 1 down. Love to see it. It's very rare that you get actual comebacks as well. So to see it come back in a final, Dima just did very well there.
Yeah, it did seem to think that Dima just kind of... He's a consistent, steady player. He doesn't seem like he's hyper-aggressive. He doesn't really look like he goes all out straight away, and he doesn't have those kinds of decks that just are full sends. He just kind of maintains his 2 towers and just keeps an eye on everything. Very clinical player, and that's something that we don't really tend to see in the ESL Mobile Open, so it's nice, refreshing to see, even though it is a little bit slower for us. But you know what? A win is a win. Like we've already said, D-Man, no one is safe in these brackets. And it just depends on how you square up on the day. It's like gladiators in the ring, like the days of old. But you can still sign up to the ESL Mobile Open. ! Sign up in the chat. And this could be one and done. Let's just say this right now. It's one bracket. All you got to do is enter one bracket, and you got to win it, and that's it. You're in the finals. No ladders, no playing catch up. That's just it. That's all you got to do.
Just got to win a bracket. Easy.
So easy, mate. Round of 128, straight through. Thanks very much. We got Brawl Stars coming up after the break, so don't go anywhere.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
So, the Brawl Stars bracket has been utter carnage this past week. That's to say the least, okay? We've got teams re-entering. We've got teams knocked off their play-in spot. 20 win streaks, 12 win streaks. Only in Brawl Stars would this bracket be such mayhem, and I love it, D-Man.
We said last week we knew things were going to change. Things were going to change. Na'Vi obviously dropping a player. So BBG's has now gone across to XXX. A new team has sort of formed together for it, which means obviously Alex G has now switched over from Genius Gene. So Genius Gene had to re-enter the ladder. So we got 3 new teams immediately into the ladder. And then we got to get EXO free agents, Tribe, Big, all these teams that are normally in there, they all need to G it up a little bit because the ladder has gone bonkers.
Yeah, so, I mean, let's get the leaderboard up and we can talk you through it a little bit. But some facts for you right now. Last week, we had Pharmacy Senders absolutely smashing their way through the ladder. They're now 7th because XXX are definitely the thorn in their side. They've had 3 losses and they've all been XXX. Na'Vi have re-entered. They're now in 2nd. They're on a 20 win streak, 20-0 right now. So big hats off to them. We're going to be seeing some of their gameplay a bit later on. Big are on a 12 win streak as well. They're currently in 4th. EXO free agents though, let's go to 9th to 16th. They are clinging on in 9th position, only 7 points ahead from 10th spot, D-Man.
Yeah, it's crazy. You got this free agent Sniggets in there as well, which is formerly Noble Esports as well. They've shot back up the table. They've had, I think, 14 wins, 1 loss in there. I think their only losses to XXX. And, you know, EXO free agents are hanging on. They're 9th at the moment. They're hanging on. And the play-ins are next Friday. That's when it kicks off. We're going to be doing the recap show straight into the play-ins. So these guys are going to have 3 game days because they're only allowed to play on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 3 game days to smash it out of the park. I'm telling you, next week is going to be
this Friday, D-Man. It's this Friday.
Bonkers. This Friday.
This Friday.
So tomorrow, so tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. Sorry, it's all going wrong. Yeah, they're going to be bonkers. I mean, as you say, Na'Vi played 20 matches. 20 matches. That's pretty much what everyone's going to be doing. Oh, I'm going to love watching this ladder play out.
Something that we're going to have to keep an eye on as well. Sitting in 13th currently is Tribe Gaming. So they might dig their heels in, get their heads down and churn through some matches and they can make it into that top 9. And then all they got to do is make it into the play-ins and then see how they get on through there. But some really exciting content to bring you guys today from Brawl Stars. So we're going to be kicking things off with EXO free agents versus Na'Vi on Siege. And this is a bit of a doozy. And what a way, I've got to say, to re-enter the ladder. Na'Vi going out, coming back and racking up a 20 win. I mean, D-Man, let's go.
Yeah, so very interesting. So as you say, Alex in there now, coming across from Genius Gene, was kind of the superstar player that even Ark was highlighting on his Twitter and YouTube just a couple of weeks ago there. So big changes for him. For Curse to come into this with YD and some Bentley. Obviously, we know what EXO free agents can do. They were number 1 on the ladder in spring split, first split. And they went through and a straight buy into the challenge where they got third place in the challenge overall. So for them not to make it would be crucial, but they've come up against a reinvigorated Na'Vi here. And of course, they're using Ash, who is now available as well.
Exactly. We got a bit of Ash being used by both teams. We've almost got an identical deck, I think we've got in front of us. But Siege bot level 5 coming in to absolutely destroy the Oki at the back end. And this is pretty clinical, I've got to say. The percentage was down.
Just absolutely... It's absolutely clinical for I think it was that the first or second attack, maybe the second attack,
bot, yeah.
Second bot that came through to finish the game there and then. Now we have the 2 Ashes, as you say. The Ash has been a very strong bruiser that they've brought into this one. YD doing what he can, trying to use that last call and everything to slow down the bot there and try and stop the Ike. But the Surge being used, I'm not too sure who the other player is on Byron actually. Whether that is MMA or Rubik, I'm not too sure actually who that one is, but nonetheless, if you're going to use Russian acrylics, all credit to you. You're a Russian bloke.
But yeah, pretty even spread right now. Obviously, in the deficit of EXO free agents with 72% left on the Icon, still 100 on Na'Vi, still, but a 7 Oh, a level 10 siege bot. Sorry, I was about to say a level 7 is about to come through for XO, but heck no. We got Na'Vi coming through with a level 10, which is going to decimate. This is going to be utter carnage. It's going to be really hard to get it down. Na'Vi pushing up as well to try and ensure that they get it down, and thanks very much. That is a 2-0 from Na'Vi against XO Free Agents, D-Man.
Yeah, a reinvigorated Na'Vi seems to be delivering very well. You know, they've had, as I say, tough old times with BBGs going out. A lot of drama between them and their coach, August. But it seems that things have certainly sorted themselves out in the ESL Mobile ladder here. So it's looking like we're going to be seeing Na'Vi once again competing in the play-ins.
Well, a newer game mode in the form of Hot Zone coming in for our next matchup between XXX and Unima Gaming. And this is another pasting, let's call it. No, I'm joking. Well, maybe I'm not joking. We've got a Bell, Leon, and Spike duo coming on from both of these teams. We've got, and let's just get straight into it. Hot Zone is awesome. I love the concept. I love that they've introduced it to Brawl Stars as well. I know it doesn't seem like it's like not been around for a long time for a lot of people, but to me, this is still a fairly new game mode, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, Stopper of Dark and Kagumo, and as I say, BBGs has joined XXX as well, so looking very good lineup right now, I've got to be honest. Obviously, pulling themselves together, a couple of players getting together. You can see they've all got different gamer tags, so very much trying to force themselves together and find a team, but working very well here with the Leon, of course, coming through. I think it's the double Leons, the Pam, trying to be defensive for Uni there, but it's not going to work out for him. The Byron, Dark, look at that, cheeky snipe, even though he's on 215 health, still goes for the little poke and snipe there, and poor old Cred hiding on the barley in the corner there, just can't do enough to get in the zone. The zone very much in control of XXX.
Yeah, I mean, XXX coming through. That spike is just so useful in this game mode, of course. Just slowing people down, pinning them in, getting really good map control is just all you're really trying to do. And that's why, you know, Sprout was so useful as well. But obviously, Spike is the current meta right now, so we're just plowing on through with that. And you love to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a little bit of advantage.
I'm never a fan of full-on mirror matches, but you know what? They always end up going that way sometimes. If you can't beat them, join them, that kind of thing. I often think you'd be better off maybe thinking of a counter or something like that to work out. But at the moment, they're just thinking, you know what? We're better skilled on those brawlers, so we will stick with them. Kagamu going around the backside. Not a lot you can do when the Spike is lobbing things over the top on you there. Yeah, even in a Bell that is such a strong brawler in herself there. But as you can see, in terms of zone, very even between the two, which is why you're seeing the stealth of Leon coming out and working wonders there for Stop Rob.
It's also a bit of a flex as well, isn't it? If you've got an absolute mirror match, if you could flex a little bit more by going, well, we had mirror match, so you've got absolutely nothing to complain about if we beat you on this map, because we have the exact same brawlers, mate. So a little bit of a flex on them, Dino. A little bit of a flex on them. Our third matchup of Brawl Stars is, you know, the people that seem to be storming the capital, Pharmacy Senders, absolutely sending it on absolutely everyone, but they went up against Big. And now Big, they're a little bit of a different story, if you ask me. However, Pharmacy Senders slipping down into 7th at the moment. And we might be about to see why, D-Man.
Yeah, Nadine, you didn't get your Twitter verification today, but it doesn't matter. You got yourself a win. Equat go alongside him and Lars, of course. Bigger a team that did take part in the ESL Mobile Challenge in the spring, and we're hoping they can try and do it again. You know, they're a little late to the party in terms of the ladder, but they have started to clock up some wins. They're another team that is really going to have to grind it throughout the next few days to see if they can get themselves in there. You can see Pharmacy Senders, as you say, they've been sort of the darlings of the first 2 weeks and had a fantastic charge, but they have been found a little wanting this week as some of the big boys have started to rock up. You know, the Brawl Stars Esports monthly finals had been done and dusted, so everybody piling back into the ladder now. They've got that free time, and it is going to be an absolute grueling week ahead.
It really is. This is the time to really get involved, dig your heels in, like get your team together and make sure you maximize on the amount of points you can get. If you have any shot of coming first in this ladder, you have to grind for it, because that first position guarantees you into the challenge finals and into the challenge season, sorry. And the play-ins are just like that. It's a bit of a pain, isn't it, to have to claw your way through the play-ins?
If I was Blood Diamond right now, I would be worried. Very, very worried. They're only 10 elo points ahead of Na'Vi. And obviously you get that direct C, like you say, and that's like a prime position. Leon here, that's a dirty brawler to pick it up with, because he can stealth himself away there. 12, you can see Gonna have it in the back here, and this is Pharmacy Senders under pressure. Where's he gonna go? He's got nowhere to go, and Lars comes in, and you saw it coming a mile away. The Piper coach diving in. She can't get it done. Tries to use the super to try and make it work. Needy going with a blocker, but Lars is gone.
What a steal. That is what you love to see. Down but not out. They only had a few seconds left and that would have been it. And just managing to come in using Leon and just wipe him out and escape unscathed, let's call it. So, last week we were talking about Pharmacy Senders. This week we're talking about Na'Vi. Who are we going to be talking about on Friday? Who is going to break that 20 win streak, or are they just going to continue it and secure that top seed away from Blood Diamond? That is what we're excited to see. That's what we're excited to talk about on Friday as well. And you could be battling against some of the best in Brawl Stars. Now, it may seem a bit far-fetched, but you can still sign up. ! Sign up in the chat. And you've got 3 days to try and catch Na'Vi. It can be done. We're not saying it's impossible, but you can register with you and your team, and you can just have at it. Why not? You got to grind, but you could just play against some of the best Brawl Stars players that is in Europe, Middle East, and North Africa. That's a thing in itself. You could go away happy just by playing against some of them. So, you got 2.5 minutes. Have a really quick loo break, and we'll see you back here for some Clash of Clans action. See you in a bit.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
I say it time and time again, but Clash of Clans has to be the tightest in terms of skill set at the very top, okay? Because people are only really winning on perfect wars at the moment, meaning the meta is kind of broken, you know? Clans are popping up and they're dominating other people. I think the best thing to do right now, D-Man, is a tasty little patch. What do you reckon?
Well, maybe. I mean, as you said, you were giving the base builders some love last week. I see you giving them love on Twitter as well, because there was a couple of base builders saying, "Does anybody want to see a base builder stream?" Well, yes, we do.
Yes.
Because we want to know how to stop these crazy attacks, especially the aerial attacks that are so strong right now.
Exactly. Air attacks are the number one thing right now, and they have been for a while. So there obviously is something creeping, something coming through the ether, I reckon, because, you know, we've had the air attacks were pretty OP. And then on top of that, they introduced rocket balloons, dragon riders. Like, air just became more and more overpowered. So yeah, I'm feeling something coming along in the.
I feel that, yeah, because obviously we had it with Brawl Stars, that the second Brawl Stars started week 2. Into challenge, a patch dropped. I feel something's going to be the same with Clash of Clans, because obviously they've got the World Championships creeping closer and closer, and clearly everybody is saying that obviously the dragons are overpowered. They got patched, and sure enough, everybody is now abusing them effectively, if you can say it that way. But the fact is, if there's something strong, everybody will use it. So maybe a patch will be due.
Exactly. Right, leaderboard time. Let's have a very quick look and see who's sitting at the top. I believe it is still Indie Fox Esports, but only by 8 points. I was about to say 7. Only 8 points currently splitting first and second. And like we've already mentioned, when it comes to the play-ins, you need that top spot to secure your way all the way through to the challenge season. And then you don't have to worry about the play-ins. You can kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy it and watch. So Carnage Gaming are hot on Indie Fox's heels. Currently, we've got some of the big names: Nolex, Penta, Repotted, and GHRS all sitting in the top 8. Let's flick over to the top 9 to 16, sorry. And some of the bigger names that you would have expected to be in the top 8 currently sitting outside: Sky Stars, Tribe Gaming, Dark Unicorn slipping down even more into 16th position. But look at that. Covering 9th to 16th is only about 40 points that can be easily made up in this week, D-Man.
Yeah, that's pretty scary, isn't it? When you think of how much they're going to gain from a single win, you're looking at 20 to 30 points, depending on obviously who you're playing against, which caliber of team you're playing against. So, you know, one win or 2 wins or 2 losses, and you're either in or you're completely out. And you're just like, so it's going to be a scary, scary week for them. They are playing, I believe, right now, if I'm not mistaken. That was obviously the end of week 3, that ladder. So things are already changing today.
So everything that's happening right now, today, tomorrow, is all going to be covered on Friday's show. So today we're going to be discussing what's happened last week. And believe you me, it was crazy. But yeah, like we've already seen, Carnage Gaming, hot on the heels of Indie Fox. And so many clans can still make it into those top 9 positions. Because remember, first goes through, and the second through to 8th go through to the play-ins. And that's where they battle it out to make it into the challenge series. So let's get into our first attack of the day. We've got Carnage Gaming up against Dark Unicorns, and on the side of Carnage Gaming, we've got Diz coming in with a Queen Charge Dragon Riders, and we're gonna have the blimp being sent through into this bottom compartment to clear it out. Because look, you got the Eagle, you got 2 Archer Towers and an air defense as well. It's gonna be a spicy one, so he's got to get in there and clear that one out, D-Man.
A Queen Charge Dragon Riders, you say?
Oh,
I am shocked. I never expected that at all. How on earth did that work out? But the blimp came through, down he goes, and obviously he tries to get the units out there quickly, invisible as they can, but the Multi-Inferno is doing some work.
It is indeed. That bottom compartment, as much as he got the Eagle, fantastic, he managed to get it down. I'm a little bit disappointed that he didn't manage to get any more defensive structures down other than 1 Archer Tower in the air defense. He's still got an Archer Tower, the cannon, and he's also got the Battle Builder as well. Battle Builder Hut, I think it's what it's called. So the Builder Hut that now attacks due to Town Hall 14 upgrade. But yeah, we've got the Queen coming in for the charge at the top side of your screen. And on the left, going to come in with the King and start just emptying out some of the bottom side of this base. Basically, what you're trying to do is give a clear run for the Dragon Riders to come in and basically sweep around the base so that we're not having to worry about any dragons that are veering off anywhere in particular. So here you go, down, drop to this bottom side with the Grand Warden.
The bombs!
Woo! Dragon.
The bombs on the healers. The bombs on the healers there. They almost took them out.
Oh, dearie me. Sorry, my focus was on the bottom side of the screen. Grand Warden has popped his Eternal Tome, and you've got the 5 Dragon Riders coming out and just decimating. A little bit worried about what's going to happen with the back end, but the Grand Warden still pushing through with the balloons, and the Dragon Riders should be enough, D-Man.
Yeah, that Queen Walk is doing some serious work at the top there. I thought the trap balloons, again, they catch onto them, but it doesn't matter now because the Valkyrie's there, and you can see how low they are. They keep catching those traps, but the Queen Walker's done enough. The healers keeping her topped off. They raged it through, and you can see absolutely decimated that top pocket of the defense.
Yeah, finally pops the Queen's ability as she walks around the outside of the base, just so we can get a few more defensive structures down, and maybe we can finish it off with these Dragon Riders. She's still got 3 up with the Grand Warden as well, and then 1 up at the top side. He's basically kept all of the Dragon Riders alive throughout this entire attack. I think he's only lost 1, and that is extremely impressive. So the main bulk of the attack still alive all the way through to the end. GG Diz for Carnage Gaming, putting up that triple up against Dark Unicorns. Exactly. Fairly speedy.
Yeah.
Dragon Riders
very
quick
attack, that one. Yeah, very quick. And we're seeing why Carnage obviously at number 2 right now. There's really well executed attack there, absolutely decimated it. And as you say, didn't really lose too many units at all.
Yeah, quick and simple. I think that's the idea. Make sure that you get the blimp in, get the Yeti to clear out as much as you can, and then you come in with the Dragon Riders to just make sure that they can sweep around, because essentially taking out the Eagle at the very beginning is just making sure that you're clearing out any potential for the Hellfire to rain down on those Dragon Riders, which are so useful towards the back end of the base because they deal so much damage. Now, it's time for the second attack that we're going to be witnessing, and it is Tim. All right, Tim, from Repotted Gaming. Repotted versus Sky Stars, and Tim previously part of Inquisition, as you can see in his name. Timmy-tastic going in from Repotted Gaming with a Blizzard Lalo. We haven't seen a Blizzard in a while. A Blizzard being the blimp going in and having super wizards inside the blimp. So what's he going to do? He's going to pop the blimp and he's going to drop invisibility spells over them because the super wizards don't have a lot of HP. So there you go. Not a lot of health, and they dish out so much damage. It's unreal. So you drop a rage and you drop invisibility spells to keep them alive so that nothing can see them. And just look at that. The Queen gets taken out. Almost. No, the Queen did not get taken out. But look how much damage it caused. All that chain value, D-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Repotted in 6th place, by the way, at the moment, whereas Sky Star's down in 14th, and it's a bit of a surprise, and maybe we're seeing exactly why there. So finally, we do get the Queen down there, and we'll get frozen out briefly by the defensive golem.
Yeah, it's going to be very slow. The Ice Golem being frozen. Drops the poison finally on the Lava Hound, which will pop, and then the poison spell should take out the Lava Pups as well. So no real issue for the Queen at the moment. The only problem is, and the real reason why they have the Ice Golem and the Lava Hound in is just to slow the attack down, just to kill all of your momentum. So now we're coming in with the King, the Jungle King, if I am right. Coming in with the Yak just to absolutely bust through those walls. That's what the Yak's going to help you do, is get through those walls and make sure that you don't get caught up on them too much, especially for the King, because now we can pop his ability and just send his way through this attack. But still fairly slow, but a lot of the base has been taken down. If you can see on this left-hand side of your screen, so much has already been taken down. So we're still waiting for the main part of the attack. He hasn't even dropped any of the loons or the Lava Hound yet, so the Lalo portion is still yet to be dropped in.
Yeah, but the beauty is with the opening attack that he did, obviously he funneled, kept the left side clear, which funnels them through the center right now because there's not really too many defensive units on the top, so they're not going to funnel that way. They're keeping on going through the center.
Right, you are, D-Man. There we go. The heroes are still pushing through into the central compartment. And look, just completely opened it up. Clear path. Now we can start with the Lalo. From the right-hand side, drops both Lava Hounds. They're going to go towards this air defense and just distract almost. You're looking for it to distract the air defense so that the loons stay up, because the loons dish out the damage. The Lava Hound is just there to distract all of the defensive structures. And it's a bit tanky. So waiting for the Grand Warden to pop his Eternal Tome. And there it goes. Keeps the balloons alive for roughly 10 to 12 seconds of just invincibility for the loons, which is so useful. And that's why the Grand Warden is just so great for the push, especially when it comes to air attacks. It's just absolutely great at sending everything across. And look, how many loons are still up? He had 27. It looks like he's still got about 20 up, D-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he lost a couple to the trap and the poison there, but that was about all because the Queen Walk had done so much. Along with, I mean, you can't just say the Queen Walk. The King was there as well. You know, you got to give him a bit of presence in there. But yeah, I mean, overall, an absolute sweeping attack from Tim-tastic.
Good old Tim coming in for Repotted Gaming and managing to secure the triple with the Blizzard Lalo. Congratulations to him and to Repotted, who are sitting nice and comfortably. They are in the top 9, are they not, D-Man?
They're 6th, yeah, 6th place at the moment.
Okay,
yeah, whereas
nice.
Sky Star's down to 14th, and they got a bit of work to do.
They do. Put in that work. You still got time, Sky Stars. You can do it. Do not worry. Right. Third attack and final one of the day coming in from Shamani for Habanero. Habanero are currently sitting in, so I was about to say 16th, but they're not in 16th, are they? They're a bit further down the
19th,
table.
yeah.
19th for Habanero at the moment, and they're going up against Penta. But this is a great attack coming in from Habanero for Shamani, which is a hero dive. And it's got look at how he utilizes the sneaky goblins, right, at 5 o'clock on your screen. He just drops in single sneaky goblins, one after the other, to take out the defensive structures. Something I've never seen before. Never really witnessed this style of attack, so please do forgive me if this is like a casual attack that you see a lot of people do. But just taking out these gold storages and also trying to get his way to the town hall using the sneaky goblins, it's actually really quite impressive. Look how many he's got. He's still got 10 left. 10 of the sneaky goblins left, making sure that he gets rid of any of the defensive structures around, like the bombs. He's finding a load of bombs there, and just now comes in all the rest of the sneaky goblins, 5 of them. Drops an invisibility spell so that they don't get taken out. Exactly. And that's it. Thanks very much. 1 star
Town hall
after 9%.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, D-Man.
A town hall with sneaky goblins. You got to be happy with that, right? And then comes the lion portion of the attack coming in from the left-hand side. They've got the wall breaker to come through as well, just to roll on through. So it's the log roller, isn't it?
Yeah, the log launcher, yeah.
Just to take them walls down. He does a fantastic job.
I mean, that's the great thing that he could have done, because, yeah, he could have used a blimp to go into that town hall section, but actually by just using sneaky goblins to take out the town hall, it gives the log launcher a potential to create loads of damage and to clear a path all right the way through the base. It's actually a very intelligent attack that they formulated here. Getting all the heroes into the middle of the base and then they can just fight their way out of the base is a fantastic situation. And also, the Grand Warden popped the Eternal Tome for the heroes as well, so they didn't get decimated. So now the Queen is still on full health with the Unicorn. Grand Warden is in the bottom left. And look, the Bats have a great pathing, and he's still got 3 freeze spells left. This is perfect, D-Man. This is a well-executed attack from Shamani.
Yeah, it does surprise me that he obviously has just looked at the Eagle Artillery and said, okay, I can tank enough of it that I don't need to worry about it. And you can see the work that those Bats are doing. It's just going to decimate the rest of the base now.
Yeah, and also the Eagle is targeting onto the heroes, so the Bats are actually okay at the moment, so they don't have to worry about that splash damage going on them, and he can just freeze his way around and just make sure the Bats take out everything. Bats are slowly getting taken down, but not a huge amount being dealt to them. And look, the heroes are still all there. They're chilling. The Queen is stuck in the middle a little bit, but only momentarily. The Queen hasn't even popped her ability yet, and we have about 4 buildings left. This is an absolutely incredible attack. People take note. Use those sneaky goblins to take out the town hall, and the rest is, you know, yours for the taking, because you don't have to commit your siege machine to going in and taking out the town hall. So yeah, great use of the log launcher, great use of the sneaky goblins, and great vision, you know, trying to basically predict what the build had done. So the builder base, we've obviously spoken about, not builder base, we've spoken about the base builders and how utilized they are, but this attack, he saw straight through this base builder's vision of trying to defend against it, and just use sneaky goblins to take out each and every one of those defensive things or defensive traps surrounding the town hall. GG Habanero, great triple.
And the part I love about it is that obviously we've been harping on about the aerial presence, the aerial attacks, and actually there was probably a lot of aerial traps in and around that town hall, which is what you'd expect. It's probably why he left it so weak, because there's sneaky traps in there, but you know what? Sneaky Goblins just like, they don't care. They don't care. They're all along the ground. So it's a very different variant than what we've seen throughout. So I really love this example.
And it makes sense that base builders would just typically build their bases right now to defend against air attacks, because air is just so strong right now. It just is the meta. So for the last time, you can still sign up to Clash of Clans. Again, like Brawl Stars, you only have a small window. So get in now and get in quick. ! Sign up in the chat and follow all of the instructions, and you could be on your way to competing in the ESL Mobile Open. It's a big deal. Trust me. Get cracking. Right, D-Man, moment of the day. Go for you. Let's go.
Moment of the day, I'm going to go with PUBG, actually, the good old boot camp finish, because it is so hard to win a game there. And to keep 3 alive into boot camp, and the presence they had was brilliant. That was right at the start of the show. If you missed it, tough luck!
I've got to say big GG as well from me. For my moment of the day goes to Navi, and actually it's been the week of the day for them, because they have just had a 20 win streak coming back into the ESL Mobile Open, re-signing up, which is what you can do, and 20 wins win streak, and they're in second right now. They're competing for that top spot. So they don't even have to compete in the play-ins. How insane is that? I can't believe it. Right. D-Man, always an absolute cracker when I've got you on here, matey. And thank you for all of your expertise. Thank you so much to the production at ESL for all of your hard work. And to you at home for getting behind your teams and supporting everyone and enjoying mobile esports, because we love it too. And there's only one more week to the competition and we're in the play-ins this Friday, and I will see you then. My name is Banks and I am was your host. Still am your host. Might be on Friday. And I'll see you then.
Gangsta walk, still I'm standing tall. No, I'm not the ball. I got my plan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouth. The chosen one they call. I take my plan with me. Know about it if you tell. Know you're breaking calls. Want your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take the stands? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator. Listen to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up.